We're back again with another TV deal split across 6 teams across 3 different nations. We've got Turkey, we've got Bulgaria, and we've got Switzerland. Those 3 nations, 2 teams per nation, can they go on to win European glory in the Conference League, the Europa League, and maybe even the Champions League? Let's get into it. And here we go then. In the Swiss Challenger League, we've got Neuchâtel Xamax and Schaffhausen. In Turkey, we've got Göztepe and Sakaryaspor. And in Bulgaria, we've got Sportist Sfoj and Strumska Slava. Why have I picked those 6 teams? Your guess is as good as mine. I've just randomly chosen some teams in the second tier of each nation, and they've all got a £250 million per season renewable TV deal. Oh, it's on other income, but we'll call it TV deal. Whatever it is, it's £250 million per season, renewed every single season, so they'll have plenty of money at their disposal as we progress through the experiment. And as always with these kind of experiments, we're going to go through intermittent jumps and end about 50 years into the future and see how much that money has taken effect. In terms of Sportist Sfoj, they've got 95 as their best player, and they're not spending much at all on wages. Strumska Slava, much the same, but in the high 80s. Göztepe, well over the 100, so they're doing all right. Sakaryaspor, again, not as good as Göztepe, but they are over the hundreds for quite a few players, and 110 being their best player. Kabongo Kasongo, what a name that is. And in Switzerland, Neuchâtel Xamax, again, just over 100 for quite a few of their players. And Schaffhausen, kind of similar, but yeah, quite a few players in on loan. So there we go then. Let's move on 5 years into the future just to see if anything's percolating in the first 5 years. Wow, well, if you look at this then, of course, it's in the database pre-Kylian Mbappe going to Real Madrid, but if you look at this, Saka and Vinicius Jr., both at PSG as well. But PSG have been doing pretty good. Not won a Champions League, though. Interesting. Okay, we'll start off in everyone's favourite Christmas meat, Turkey. Okay, I'm not sure what's happened here. I can't look at the second tier of Turkey. Right, that's a problem. But Sakaryaspor are here. Right, so let's have a look. Let's just Google Göztepe. Google. Right, they finished 8th in the Turkish Super League. They've got £1 billion in the bank. Their squad is, wow, 130s. Okay, we're starting to move. And they're still in the second tier. Oh, no. Oh, Turkish Super League. They're up there. Sorry. Turkish 1 League. Sakaryaspor are there. Right, they haven't been promoted. My mistake. Bloody hell. All over the place. I could go and re-record that. But as always, I'll leave in the blunders for you guys, well, to laugh at, I guess. Sakaryaspor. So, £1 billion in the bank. Much of a muchness, still just over 100 in terms of their players. Not really done much. They're spending a bit on wages. They're spending £164,000. They could be spending up to £5 million, so they need to start upping their spend. Göztepe, they're spending nearly £900,000, and they could be spending £8 million. Is insane. As we've just seen, because we clicked on them, 136 is their best player, 133 and 130 also there. Million Manhoof, what a name that is as well. Quite a few in the 120s and loads in the 1-teens. Like, they've not got many players at all under 100. And the ones that are under 100 are pretty much youth prospects, apart from Yusuf Kokachurk at 23. And he's still pretty much a youngster. And he's at 99. So they've done all right, Göztepe. They're on the move. They've just finished 8th. They came up 3 seasons ago by finishing 3rd, and they went up through some sort of playoff system, I would assume. The things have started to happen. Göztepe doing the best. Not in Europe yet, though. Anything happening in Bulgaria? Okay, so Sportist Sfoj are here in the second tier, Bulgarian second league. Oh, where the hell is Strumska Slava? Okay, this is a problem. Sportist Sfoj, as you can see here, they did actually win it 3 years ago, so they've been up and down, spending 10k a week on wages. They can only spend 18,000, and they've got £967 million in the bank. Still not over 100 in terms of their accountability. Abysmal. £200 million they can spend on transfers, and their wage budget is so low. I mean, they could split that and improve it. Has Georgi Chilikov been here the whole time as well? He has. 5 years and a day. We did win the Bulgarian second league. Let's have a look at the competitions then. We went up as champions, and then we've come straight back down. 3rd last season as well. So we're probably one of the better teams in this division. Me, do you think we're going to finish 4th? I would like to think that only been 5 years in, not a lot's really happened, and they've not really transferred their money into wages and started to bring the players in. Hopefully that will change. Strumska Slava then. So they've got £970 million. They've only got 15k in the wage budget, spending 5. Their players are same as what they were. They've just been relegated. No, they got relegated in 24-25 and there's no history. Oh, we could be losing them. We could be losing them completely. Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it, really, when you look at the second tier of some of these nations, you hope they're going to go on and sort of help bolster out and build the nation. It could go the other way, like it has done here. Strumska Slava, I'm rooting for you. Let's see in the future if we get back to the big time. I'd like to think so with all that money. Right, in Switzerland, Neuchâtel Xamax and Schaffhausen are both still in the second tier. £1 billion there. They can spend a 1.5 mil, and they're currently spending £236,000. So, as you can see here, 120. That's bigger, yeah. And they've got quite a few over 100. I think they were about here, weren't they? In just over mid 100s. They've got a few players that have sort of gone above and beyond. I mean, £62,000 for Sumela Bakayoko. He's laughing his way to the bank, the Swiss bank, and we've been knocking on the door of promotion. Third twice in this experiment so far. Schaffhausen, wow, they can spend 4.2, and they're spending £122,000. So they're spending less, but they can spend more. They're not overspending on anyone in particular, and they have got a few players over 100. Not sure they've improved much, really. And they have been sort of considerably worse than Neuchâtel Xamax. They've been lower mid-table. So, yeah, I think another 5 years is in order. Let's rock and roll. To be fair, the first 5 years is always difficult, isn't it? Because now we've gone 10 years into the future, we do 10-year jumps going forward. So it's one of those things, isn't it, that we don't really see much happening to begin with. Speaking of much happening, best player in the world is currently, well, it's not Evan, Teddy Da Silva, the 193 player. Evan Ferguson's at Real Madrid. Went there from PSG for £92 million. Barely played at PSG. Jamal Musiala at Real Madrid as well. Gavi at Man City. Evren Yavuz, Turkish, onto Arsenal. Okay, so the Turkish One League, we have nobody here. So that means Sakaryaspor have either been relegated or promoted. Göztepe probably still flying the flag up there. And they are. So Sakaryaspor have avoided relegation by finishing 15th. And Göztepe have actually got Conference League football. So Sakaryaspor first. They've got £849 million in the balance. £136 million loss this season. This stadium was built in 2016. I won't be surprised if there's a new stadium on its way. That's a big loss, considering they're only spending £439,000. Bear in mind, we're giving them £250 million per season. So you're talking, there's all the runnings of the club, all the income, like gate receipts, everything that's coming in, plus £250 million, minus that £136 million. So we're talking £386 million, plus all the costs, all the income from revenue, merchandising and all that. You're talking north of £400 million for the season that's been spent. And it's very clearly not been spent on transfers. £309 million in the season budget. They spent £26 million on transfers. They are spending £439,000 on wages. And yeah, we're starting to improve. Many in the 1-teens and a couple in the 120s. That's good to see. Not overly spending massively on wages. You know, they're all much of a muchness. Probably are spending more than your average team. And Göztepe, again, they're the same. I wonder if they've lost. Maybe it's a tax bill. It could be a tax bill. We'll see. £1.43 million being spent. They've got £850 million in the bank. They've got good facilities as well. 140s, 138s, loads in the 130s and 120s. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. I mean, Gustavo Sara, £180,000 a week as well. We're moving on up. Conference League football. They got 5th last season as well, so we probably got Conference League football last season as well. Oh my God, we got to the final. Lost to Valencia in the final. Yeah, look at that. Runner up in the Conference League already. Right, we're seeing things happen. The problem is I'm unsure whether we've got the ability to go and win this competition without being too good to qualify for it. I think we're going to get into the Europa League and Champions League going forward. By the time we get good enough to win this, we'll be too good to qualify for it. Kind of the way, isn't it, in these foreign countries? And when you're in England, when you qualify for the Conference League, you are literally one of the best teams that's in it, but you're not good enough to get into the other competitions because of the sheer quality of the league. It's kind of like the opposite in other countries. So yeah, there you go. Göztepe doing pretty good. £327 million they can spend as well on transfers. Spent 28.5 million, £18 million on Ekran Sabuncu, who's not a bad player, to be fair. Yeah, those are the kind of transfers that you need to take you to the next level. Okay, so we're in the Bulgarian First League. So we've been promoted. Sportis Foge are back up here. And no manager, £1 billion. Only spending £142,000 a week on wages, but we are well over 100 for loads of the players. 127 for their best player, a few in the 1-teens and loads in the 100s. That's very good. So yeah, we went back down in the second league. We here third, and then we finished second, got promoted, and we've stayed up ever since. That's good to see. Not spending anywhere near what we could be on wages, but that should change in the near future. Making a profit every season. New stadium probably incoming. Strumska Slava have still not come back up. Yeah, they're rubbish. Thirdly, 29-30, they were back up and they got relegated again. Okay. Right, Swiss Challenger League. Oh, look at that. Past winners, Neuchâtel Xamax and then Schaffhausen back-to-back seasons. Okay. There you go. Neuchâtel Xamax won the league, Schaffhausen second from down in 8th. And then Schaffhausen won it the following season. And look at that. We've had Schaffhausen 8th this season and Neuchâtel Xamax, who have finished 4th and got Europa League football. So, Schaffhausen, £1 billion in the bank. Spending £500,000 on wages. In the 1-teens for most of their team. And they survived 2 seasons in a row in this division. And they've improved each season. Same really for Neuchâtel Xamax, £1 billion in the bank. £460,000 being spent on wages. They've actually got a few players in the 120s and even one in the 130s. And they're still not spending huge amounts. They're spending about £400,000, but they're sort of capping it out at a very reasonable sort of mid-30s. Not seeing anyone in the 40s for wages. Alexander Hamzic, who is their best player, £3.6 million signing, £30,000 a week, 24 years old. Not a bad player. Not a bad player indeed. So they came up and they've 4th, 6th, 4th. So they've been in the Europa League a couple of times. Conference League qualifying path, they got eliminated. Season before that, they weren't in anything. Then they weren't in anything there. And then, yeah, okay. They didn't qualify for it. So they missed out. So in my opinion, Göztepe doing the best so far. They've got the best squad and they got to the Conference League final, which is very impressive. So going forward, big things might happen. So these are the team sort of holding out hope for. Let's go forward 10 more years to 2043. They were rocking and rolling. Well, we're 10 years on and we've gone straight into Turkey. And look at this. Sakaryaspor, current winners. Göztepe have won it, 5 times? I mean, we're going to go with Göztepe because they've been the most successful so far. So look at that. We've got 5 league titles, £912 million in the bank, spending £4 million a week on wages, half of what they can spend. Players in the 150s and 140s doing very, very well indeed. And I have just seen a Europa League win in 2040. So 3 seasons ago, they won the Europa League. They also came runner-up in 2036-37. Sportis Foge have come runner-up in the Conference League in 38-39. Of course, nothing's happened in the Champions League yet. But again, we're not really expecting that. But Göztepe, they've done pretty well indeed to get 5 leagues. Sakaryaspor, though, they're spending £2.8 million a week on wages, and they've just got their first Turkish league under their belt. They're spending big money on some players. Huge money here, £425,000 a week. That being said, they can afford it, and they've got players in the 140s and 130s now, so they've kicked on as well. So they're going to have 2-horse race here. Sakaryaspor and Göztepe are probably really going to dominate Turkey for the next 30 years, which I think, in my opinion, is excellent to see. That's exactly what we wanted to see. How have they been doing in terms of the competitions? They've been finished second twice as well. Sakaryaspor have been there in the top 2 for the last 3 seasons, winning it most recently. Göztepe, yeah, won 5 times. Okay, so we've just seen something in Bulgaria for Sportis Foge. Let's go and have a look at the Bulgarian First League. Sportis Foge have finished 4th. They've not qualified for Europe this season, but we have seen them already come runner-up in a Conference League. No new stadium, spending £1.5 million a week on wages, and their team is in the 130s and 140s now. So we have actually sort of kicked on quite nicely indeed. Competitions. So the First League, we've never finished higher than 5th. But considering before we just got up there and we were lower mid-table, we've really progressed, and the worst we've finished is 10th in the last 10 years. So very good indeed. Strumska Slava, just a whole lot of nothing. Slightly better players. We were up again, won for 1 season, went straight back down. It's just nothing really to speak of. Switzerland then. The St. Gallen have been winning it every single season for the last few years. Neuchâtel Xamax, though, runner-up. And Schaffhausen here in 4th. And yeah, we've not seen any competition wins in the European competitions from the Swiss side of things. We'll look at Schaffhausen first. £1 billion in the bank, spending 1/10 of their wages at £876,000. Again, very modest for some of these players. I mean, you've got £54,000 here, 47.5 there, 48.5 there. But other than that, there's not really anything that's outlandish. A lot of players in the 120s and 1-teens though, so they are overpaying for the players. But again, as I say in previous videos, if you've got the money, you might as well spend it. better spending 3 times the amount on a player if you will improve your squad, if you can afford it. It's all relative, isn't it? Nustal Zamaks, they're spending less on wages, £738,000, but they are doing better, and you can see why. They've got more players in the 113s and 120s than Schaffhausen. Yeah, paying bigger for some of the players as well. £72,000 here for Leandre Akale, and then they're spending £14,000 for Otto Huber. There's one attribute point in it. They're very similar sort of. We both play defensive midfield. Well, there you go. And as we've seen, second a couple of times, fourth a couple of times, fifth, fourth again, and fifth. So they've done really well in this last 10 years. Second there as well. So I can see a win for Nustal Zamaks coming in the next 10 years. So without further ado, let's go through those 10 years. 2053. Well, we are here in Turkey, and it has been the GozTP show. Since we were last here, they've won 9 of 10. Sakaryaspor have been second and third, and worse. So Sakaryaspor have not been as good. £873 million. They've got £7.45 million available to spend, spending about half of that. Players in the 150s and 140s, they're doing pretty well. Now in Turkey, in terms of GozTP, only got £443 million in the bank. They've got a new stadium, though, built in 2048. So that could be part of the reason. They spent big on the stadium, and they're probably debt-free. Spending £4 million a week on wages as well. And wow, Luka Brulic, 171, £12 million signing at 21 years old. He's fairly determined. He is probably going to get to 182. Is he going to stay? That's the question. Don't think we'll see him here in 10 years when he's 31, to be perfectly honest, but you never know, do you? You never know. But yeah, they are dominating the league. Dominating the league. In terms of Turkish Cup, 4 for Göztepe and 3 for Sakaryaspor. So quite even in terms of Turkish Cups. And of course, the Europa League for Göztepe, that was won good few seasons ago. And hello, Sakaryaspor have won it, and then they've come runner-up a couple of seasons later in the Europa League. So 2 Europa League wins for Turkey. Nothing in the Conference League in terms of wins, but we've had another runner-up. Nustal Zamaks. We'll be heading there last because we're going to go to Bulgaria first and Sportis Sfoj, who are first in the Bulgarian First League Championship. A quick look at the squad before we go and look at the league. 140s for quite a few players, and they're spending big now on some players. They're spending very big. And there you go, champions. They've won it 3 times as well in the last few years. CSKA 1948 have won 3 in a row, sandwiched inside Sportis Sfoj. But we have got a look at this relegation there, 13th and 14th. That's madness. But yeah, Sportis Sfoj have won few. Run up in the Conference League. They've won Bulgarian Cups, 3 of them as well. I don't think Strumska Slava are doing much. Still not in the game. Still not in the game. Yeah, nothing since 2040, so they've not been up. Underwhelming. Swiss. I did say Nustal Zamaks are going to win it, and they have. They've won 4. Run up this season. Schaffhausen there in 5th. So, still plenty of money for Schaffhausen, spending £1 million a week. They've got players in the 130s. So, they're moving up slowly. Not as fast as the old Neuchâtel. I've probably butchered this name multiple times, and it's probably triggering for so many people, but it is what it is. I'm uncultured, what can I say? Plenty of transfer budget, plenty being spent on wages. Their team, they've got lots in the 140s and 130s. And yeah, got a player here, 22 years old, Edouard Constantin, £180,000 a week. £46.5 million from Bruges. Is he worth that? Honestly, he's not a million miles away from that, actually. If you're a Premier League team, I mean, £46 million for a 149 player? I've seen it spent. I've probably spent it myself. Because obviously you don't know the comfortability, do you, when you're just going into these plays. And he looks pretty decent. And if when he was 20, if he was just a little bit worse than this, in like 130s, you'd go, he's got potential. Coaches are coming through saying 4-star, 5-star or something, you think, worth a punt. And hey, he'd be good enough for the Premier League. He'd be solidly mid-table in the Premier League, doing a job. So, yeah, we're actually bringing these players into Switzerland now and expecting big things to happen going forward. And they have happened. 4 wins for Nustal Zamaks. In terms of the Swiss Cup, they've won 5 and 6, should I say, and Schaffhausen have also won 1. We've actually had an all TV deal final here, Nustal Zamaks and Schaffhausen. Fair play to them. Okay, 2053, let's go to 2063. Well, would you look at that? Trabzonspor have just won the league, and GozTP down in 4th, and I can see here, in terms of past winners, well, up into 2053 where they won 9, they won another couple, and then it was Sakaryaspor's turn, 4 in a row, then GozTP, and then 2 more. So GozTP have won 17 leagues in this experiment so far, spending over £3 million a week on wages, just got over £500 million in the bank. In the 140s, weren't we sneaking into the 150s last time? Have we stepped backwards? Not sure. Sakaryaspor, so 7 leagues for them. Over £4 million being spent. They're in the 150s for players, 2 of them. Quite a few in the 140s and 130s as well. So they're doing all right, spending big, but they've won a few leagues, so probably worth it. Probably worth it. In terms of Europa leagues, unfortunately, no more Europa leagues. Not even a final. No conference leagues either. We're finding this, aren't we? We're going to the 30 years in, and it all looks positive, and then we go for the last 20 years, and nothing seems to happen. I mean, we've not got any Champions Leagues, almost certainly. No, we don't. PSG have got a lot. Oh, bloody hell. Sportis Foge are second, getting Champions League football, and the past winners, CSK 48. Well, look at that. They've won it, 1948 have won it the last 10 years. The Sfoge Meisters have not won a league title. Disappointing. They've got a 161 player, Mario Caicedo, but they've got a few in the 140s and loads in the 130s. Again, feels like a little bit of a step back. I mean, look at this guy. 161 out of 174, and he's getting paid £23,000 a week. Yeah, 25 years old. And then you got a player here, £160,000 a week. Adriano, 142. £300,000 a week at 132. 275 down here at 125. The distribution of wealth is not very fair in this team, because he should be earning £275,000 a week easy at that ability. No messing. He's very determined. He's level-headed as well. I mean, Strumska Slava, I'm not expecting anything from them. Oh my God. They're in the Bulgarian second league, getting relegated dismally. Absolutely dismally. They've got £393 million in the bank. Where's all their money going? They're not really spending it, are they? It's the first time we've been back in 22 years. 2 wins all season. You know. Turns out money can't buy success for Strumska Slava. Fine. And in Switzerland then, well, it's the Neuchâtel Xamax and Schaffhausen show. Look at that, 94 and 90 points down to 68 for St. Gallen. If you look at the last 10 years, it's been our 2 teams. Schaffhausen with 1 league title to their name. Happy days for them. And Neuchâtel Xamax with 9, making it 16 overall in their history, 13 in this experiment. They've got loads of money in the bank. They're only spending £1.5 million a week on wages. So again, very conservative in terms of their spending. Plays in the 150s and 140s. Problem is now they're probably qualifying for Champions League football, and they're not good enough to win that. They're probably good enough to get to the Conference League final, which is not happening. Schaffhausen are actually spending £2.4 million a week on wages, so spending much more, and their squad is much worse. So yeah, we've got one more jump. Another 10 years, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure anything's going to happen. Some good names here, though. Look at this. Marco Schneeberger, Francois Xavier Fromentin. Will we do a Swiss Wonderkid wheel? We'll see. Let's go to the final jump then. 2074. And here we go. So the final check-in. And we are back on top with Göztepe. Sakaryaspor have also won a few. So in the last 11 years, it has been, wow, well, Sakaryaspor with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Göztepe with 5 as well, and Galatasaray with just 1. So we've won the last 10, and we were winning. We've been, apart from a couple of seasons, we've really won it for the last probably 30 years. 22 league titles for Göztepe. Sakaryaspor with 12. We've also won a Club World Championship in 2065. £4 million a week being spent on wages, and yeah, 153, 149. It's just meh, isn't it? Nearly £4 million a week being spent there. And again, 140s, no one in the 150s. Rubbish. No more Europa League wins. We're on Neuchâtel Xamax getting to the final. Conference League, no one even anywhere near it. No one in the Champions League. So yeah, no European trophies really. A couple of Europa Leagues and that's it. Bulgarian First League. So Sportis Foge have just won it again. They've won it multiple times. So in the last decade, they've won 6. CSK 948 have won 5 in the last 11 years. So yeah, we won 9 leagues in total for Sportis Foge. And yeah, their squad is... yeah, say about the same, 150, high 140. So that's where we've got to at this point. Same in Turkey. Strumska Slava, where the hell are they? Still not in the game. Still in the 80s of current ability players. 71-72, we were back up again, went down. This time we won 6, 30 points this time. Much better, but, you know, is what it is. £500 million in the bank. Where's all their money gone? Where's all their money going? Your guess is as good as mine. And the Swiss Super League, just to round things off, Neuchâtel Xamax have absolutely dominated, and yeah, for the last decade they've won nearly everything apart from St. Gallen won 1 season. We'll check in on Schaffhausen first. They're at £1 billion, spending nearly 3, and their squad is same 151 and then 140s. Not as good quite as in Turkey, but similar. Xamax 3 at 152, a 150, and then some in the 140s. So yeah, that is much of a muchness. So we've not done a lot. We have won some Europa Leagues. Do please send your suggestions for other nations you want me to do this with, because I really do enjoy a couple of teams getting a TV deal in a nation. So do put your suggestions in, and hopefully we can go on and win some European trophies in them. I mean, the bigger the nation, the better chance we have of doing it. So it is what it is. But I'm not always going to just do England or Germany or France. I want to do some of these more obscure nations that you don't quite see in some of these experiments as often, because I find it a hell of a lot of fun, and hope you do too. Hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.